So today's plan, in about 2 hours, we're going to be crossing the damn border into Canada, and then we're heading up towards Montreal. We're going to hit a Harley dealership in Montreal. What's up? J Street Moto here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time. Getting ready to start day 2. We are currently in Syracuse, New York, at a Best Western Plus. What a bad place to stay. Stayed better. But it was a pretty cool little spot. Had a decent meal last night. Didn't take any video or pictures of the food shit because we didn't get here until like 9:45, and then we had to find a restaurant before it closed. Then we came and checked into a hotel. So sorry I left you off of that, but we ate at Tully's. Food was really good. This little sports bar on the east side of Syracuse. I was shockingly surprised. I had fish and chips. Juan and David both had the same thing. They had grilled mahi. Everybody's food looked good. So today's plan, in about 2 hours, we're going to be crossing the damn border into Canada, and then we're heading up towards Montreal. We're going to hit a Harley dealership in Montreal. Then we're going to continue further up towards Quebec City and then cut over and stop for the night in Edmonston, Canada, on our way to Halifax. About 588 miles today. We think it's going to take about 9.5 hours to do it. And yeah, that's it for right now. I've got to get the bikes loaded. David and Juan are upstairs getting ready, and they'll bring their shit down. We're kickstands up at 7 o'clock, and it is currently like 6:20, 6:25, something like that. Got an issue with the Kuriakin speaker, so I came out here a little early to pull my seat off and see if I could figure it out. Last night, for some reason, it just started freaking cutting in and out on me, meaning losing power. It was doing it like when the bike hit hard jars or when I really accelerated fast. And I was thinking that the seat and the air cushion, the straps for it, were affecting the signal wire that I have under there. I can't get the problem to repeat itself, so screw it. I'm just going to go. Worst case scenario, the speaker cuts out and I throw some earbuds in. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Click that notification bell. See you soon. Little did I know that Kuriakin problem was actually a symptom of a bigger issue. And that'll be a story for tomorrow's episode because something goes wrong. America! Loved getting this shot of the American flag right before we crossed the border. All of us were stoked this morning when we got up because we're like, oh shit, today we get to cross into another country on motorcycles, and none of us had ever done that before. It was the first, and that was what was honestly kind of cool about this trip to begin with. As I mentioned it before, David and I have been riding together longer than Juan and I have when it comes to trips. And so this trip was one where it was a first for all of us. None of us had been there before. None of us had done it before. And so it was really freaking cool. It made for an interesting experience. Now we did hit some weather on this day, especially as we were just getting like towards the border and kind of across the border. We hit enough rain that we pulled off and put on rain gear. So for those of you that ride, you understand what I'm talking about. It's like, all right, I'm getting wet enough that I need to put something on before I get so freaking wet that putting something on doesn't matter. But it was cool.
as we were pulling up to the border, and you know, well, you'll see it in a minute. So yeah, we were all kind of stoked about this day. We had everything lined up. We were ready to go. We knew kind of where we were going today. I mean, it was an exciting day. We're crossing the border. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. If those of you've watched my stuff for any period of time, you'll know that I'm a dog person. I'm a huge dog fan. And that little puppy right there just kept staring at me out the window. And I actually, while we're sitting there waiting to go across customs, I threw the kickstand down, walked over, asked the owners if I could pet her, and they said yes. On that note, owners, if you're watching this video, please drop a comment, because I think I remember the dog's name, but I'm not 100% certain. Drop her name down in the comments, and you know, because I want to know whether I was right or not, and I'm not going to say what's possibly a wrong name in this video. So we crossed the border, and well, the weather gets worse before it gets better. Keep watching. Oh, Canada. So when we were getting ready for this trip, I was thinking about how I was going to document it differently than how I documented the California trip last year. And mainly that's because, you know, one of the reasons I do these videos is so that we've got a record of kind of, you know, what we did and what we liked. Oops, missed a turn. But, you know, one of the other reasons I do it is to share it with you guys and to give you some sense, if you're not out there doing, you know, long trips, give you some sense of what it's like to be on one, you know, and I'm hoping that the video captures that. Well, for this trip, I'm trying to shoot with two different cameras. I got two different cameras going, at least for the first couple of days. On day 3, there's a mishap, and we'll talk about that on day 3, which will be the next episode. But David also has his camera on his bike, just like he did when we went to California. And so, unfortunately, day 1, David did not have an SD card, or something happened with his battery. Something occurred day 1 that kept David from... Oh, and here's Montreal Harley Davidson. They kept David from being able to record. So this is the first day, really, where I've got 3 different video sources that I'm trying to merge into one kind of story. Anyway, enjoy the Harley dealership. It's right here. This is the one in Montreal, and it's pretty freaking cool. Dealt with some rain today. We're in Montreal now at the Montreal Harley Davidson. This place is freaking cool. Check it out. Tons of bikes, tons of gear. It's just really cool. Except everybody's speaking French. I'll see you at lunch. We're Geez.
I mean, I can talk.
Here's the menu. Don't know what we're getting yet.
Smash burgers.
The place is pretty cool. Got the bacon double cheeseburger at Geez with fries and gravy. Juan did the same thing. David did the same thing too, only he got sweet potato fries and no gravy. Let you know how it is.
We did, all three of us, end up getting double smash burgers, bacon double smash cheeseburgers at Geez. And I gotta tell you, freaking burgers they were on point. They were really good. We didn't eat a lot of burgers this trip, so this might not mean as much, but those burgers were quite possibly the best ones we had on the trip. Like I said, we didn't eat a lot of them. So when I compare them to other burgers that I eat at other places, these burgers are certainly, they make the top 10 easily. One of the things that was cool was, and I don't know if this has come up on the channel before, Juan doesn't like pickles. And you know, that's just his thing. He doesn't like pickles. So Juan's never really had Big Mac sauce, which, as we all know, has pickles in it. Well, these guys made their own Geez sauce, and basically it was a spin on the Big Mac sauce at McDonald's, minus the pickles. So Juan got to have a burger that tasted sort of like a Big Mac for the first time. Right here, this was cool. Some dude on an adventure bike ended up hopping in behind us and joining us for a little bit of the ride. I got him on tape, so there he was. But yeah, highly recommend Geez. It was a phenomenal place. Kudos to, I think his name was Jeff, that recommended that place at the Harley Davidson dealership, because it literally, we walked to it. We left our bikes parked at the Harley dealership and walked to this restaurant. Had lunch, got back on the bikes, and then dealt with a lot of construction and traffic in Montreal, getting the hell out of there. The thing that comes to mind is going around your ass to get to your elbow, just to get out of the damn city and get back on the road, head towards Quebec and ultimately Edmonston for the night. As you can see, most of this day we dealt with overcast conditions and on and off rain, as well as much cooler temperatures than what any of us are used to riding in. Good news about the cooler temperatures, though, is the bikes freaking love it. I mean, we're riding air-cooled motorcycles, so when you get into temperatures that are like 60, 70 degrees, freaking motorcycles love that, and they were performing exactly as they should have. So right now we are, I'm trying, I mean, it's hard, right, guys? I'm trying to condense what ended up being a, I don't know, shit, maybe a 12-hour a day in terms of clock time, maybe 13 hours, into a 15-minute video to let you see kind of, you know, the important parts. The good news was, as we got nearer to Edmonston, the sky cleared up. We got some sun. It made for some beautiful scenery. Unfortunately, my 360 camera battery died right before the best shot of the day. Ended up catching it with the camera on my arm, and it's not as stable as the 360 camera was, but I still captured it. We ended up staying in a little hotel in Edmonston. This was the only night that we ordered food in, so we had pizza delivered to the house, or to the hotel, because quite frankly there wasn't any restaurants that were still open by the time we got there. By the time we got checked in and unloaded, our only options were, there's the shot, that right there. This is Lake Temiscota, And it was just beautiful when we crested a mountain, came down and saw that. So, any case, hope you're enjoying the videos. Like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Always ride safe.
Yeah, ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Ah. Asshole.